So hello everyone, this is your Krishna from Women Today YouTube channel. So in this channel we have been interviewing many women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India. We are just traveling to different cities and we are doing offline interviews in their professionals workplace, and we have also conducted online interviews across different cities and also across different countries in the world. So today's our guest is from Mumbai. Her name is Vinni Shah Modani and she is the founder and head counselor of Aara Education Consultancy in Mumbai. So I welcome you, Vinni Shah Modani ma'am, to the Women Today YouTube channel. So please kindly introduce about yourself, about the kind of work that you're doing to the audience who are watching this interview right now, ma'am.
First of all, thank you so much, Krishna, that you traveled all the way from Chennai just to take the interview. Hats off to your dedication. It's very impressive. I have been seeing your YouTube videos and your work is truly inspiring. So it's totally my pleasure to give the interview. Just to introduce myself, my name is Vinni Shah Modani. I'm the founder and head counselor at Aara Consultancy. So we started the company in 2018 with the sole motto to make sure that we give unbiased opinions to the student. In the world today, there are so many choices, there are so many options. Students are confused, clueless. So to give them a direction, that is what our aim is. So right from 8th grade, students come to us till PhD. We cater to any course, any country, any university, anything and we just give all the solutions possible in a very unbiased way. We do not have sort of associations with the universities. We make sure students get correct advice based on their profile preference. They should be going to a university or opting for a course that matches them, that fits them. So that's the entire purpose. So I and my partner Arpan Modani, we started, and it's been almost 8 years that we have sent more than 3,000 students. We have guided them to some of the top universities across the globe. We do career counseling. We do abroad counseling. There are array of services which we provide, which includes test prep, subject selection, student visa process. There are multiple things what we offer, but everything related to education. So we are like a one-stop solution for education related problems. So that's the introduction for myself.
Really, that was a great legendary introduction because speaking about numbers, 3,000 students is something like a vast one. And also this, not only we are speaking about the quantity but also about the quality, because you are doing an unbiased work, and also at the same time you make sure that even starting from the 8th grade of the students' educational career, you make sure that what thing they are actually interested in, because they have to first make sure that whatever career that they are going to choose, whatever course they are going to land in, whatever university they are going to go, they are interested and they are totally into it. So you are making sure that it is achieved at the very first level, and then you are just moving on to the next level. That's a great thing, ma'am. And also speaking about the word Aara, so naming your education consultancy as Aara Education Consultancy, tell us, ma'am, where did you get the name called Aara, ma'am?
So my education counselors were my parents. Back then there was no guidance as such, from professionals. So I just followed what my parents suggested, and I am currently at a very good place. At least according to me, I am satisfied with my work. Hence I devote my company to my parents. So my mother's name is Asha. My father's name is Rajesh. So I just blended the name and converted to Aara. So that's how I got the name of Aara.
That's wonderful. I also wish you all the best and blessings from your parents till the end of your professional life. I just want to make it in such a way that your professional way will be out of the universe. It doesn't have any kind of end, and your parents' blessings will be till you do your work and till you achieve your success, ma'am. It's because success is not like a destination. It's like a travel which will be coming again and again. It's like a milestone. Now we are moving on to the next question. Very first question which arises to every student is very simple. They have to decide which course they are going to study, because the course determines the professional career. And the second question is, which university has the best course? So tell us, what will you tell to a student when they ask you this question, ma'am?
Yes, so this is the most common question asked in terms of what course should I go ahead with, what university should I go ahead with. So, students come to us right from 8th grade till PhD. So, we do career counseling as well in terms of, what course ideally the student should be going with. So, when it comes to course selection, student needs to understand that it should interest them, it should be aligned to what they want to study. It's very important that the course needs to be practically viable. That is, that particular course needs to have demand, and it should match the strengths of the students. It should match the attributes to the student. So matching the strength, interest of the student, and practical viability, three things determine the course selection. Okay, in terms of university selection, it depends on the country what student is planning to go ahead with. There are so many countries all across the world, and there are great universities. So depending on the country what the student chooses, accordingly we usually tell three factors which are required to be considered for university selection as well. Number one is the curriculum, whether that particular university is offering the curriculum what the student wants to study. Second, the overall reputation of the university, because the ranking reputation also matters. Third is the scholarship offered in those university. Fourth is the the overall location. So it's always better to go to a university with a good location compared to the ones which are a bit regional because of the better job opportunities. So four factors. Number one is the curriculum aligns to the interest of the student. Second is the overall reputation of the university. Third is the scholarship which is offered by the university. Fourth is the location. So four aspects for university selection and three aspects for course selection, that is interest, strength of the student, and third is the practical viability. So that's how ideally the course selection and university selection should be done. And of course, help of a counselor always is something which is crucial, because all these decisions are extremely important. It's a one-time decision, so help of a professional will definitely give you an advantage, will help you decide a better path compared to you choosing alone and asking 100 people, asking Google. It's always better to take a help of a professional. So our first abroad counseling session is free, students do not have to pay for that session. For career counseling, where what students come when they are in their 8th grade, 9th grade, we charge a particular amount, but the abroad counseling session is absolutely free. So student can avail these sessions and based on that take a call about the course, take a call about the university, because these are very important steps in your career. And I always tell that in a career, why career is so important, because in a day 70% of your day is devoted to what you are working, what you are doing. So you should be liking that 70%, otherwise what's the point, right?
Can you please share the insights of top universities and the programs, so which most commonly asked by the students, and tell us more about it, ma'am?
So when it comes to top universities, it depends from country to country. For example, the top university in India is for engineering IIT Bombay, right? IIT Delhi. Similarly, in US it is the Ivy Leagues, that is Harvard and Columbia. When it comes to other countries, that is UK, Netherlands, Switzerland, every country has their own top university. So of course there is QS ranking which is there, which gives you the world ranking, but I always believe that whichever country you choose, you should go to the best college in that particular country. Everyone has their own priority when it comes to choosing country. Everyone has their budget restriction, then relatives in a particular place, someone wants to go for something non-stream and not US, UK. So there are choices. So based on the country you choose, it's ideal to target the top universities based on that. And also, what was your second question?
It's very simple, ma'am. So most people, they just have this common kind of thinking like, what is the program that we are going to study? So it basically deals with the course. So there will be a lot of programs like a student who is going for an education in like many abroad, like US or in Singapore, they'll be having the duration of the course. That's called program. It may be a short term one, it may be a long term one. So tell us about it, ma'am.
So when it comes to program, again it depends. So usually students go for master's program, which is very popular amongst. Initially, it was popular amongst engineers. Now, all the stream students are opting for masters. UG undergrad doing bachelor's abroad is also something which is gaining a lot of popularity, considering the fact that so many of the students are opting for international boards. So initially there was ICSE, CBSE, state board. Now there is international baccalaureate, that is IB. There is A level. So because of those international boards, students end up studying UG also abroad. So UG abroad, masters. Some people go for PhD as well. Many go for MBA as well. So these are the common programs, that is bachelor's, master's, MBA and PhD. Nowadays, because of the good awareness, I would say all the four programs are quite sought after. Students are going, but I would say the top rated or the maximum students are going for master's course itself. That has been the popular one since the beginning.
Yeah. Also tell us, ma'am, people will be worried about how should we select the best universities for us, because there will be best universities for different kind of courses. For this university, this course will be the best, and consider like Canadian countries like US, like in Singapore, like in Europe, or any university wherever they want to pursue the career. So each and every university will have a different kind of distinguished in different levels. So tell us, what is the most common factor that a student should see when they are selecting for the universities, ma'am?
So as I told previously also, university selection needs to be dependent on curriculum. First of all, curriculum needs to be aligned with what you want to study. You just aim for the top college without understanding what you are going to study. That's absolutely false. I know of students who basically, go for a wrong major like environmental studies or anthropology just because, that's a lesser demanded course. And they want to like target Harvard, Stanford or UCLA's, UC's. So because the chances for them to get into that course is a little easier, hence they opt for the major which they are not interested in, which is absolutely false. You should not be doing that at all. You should be first of all understanding that the curriculum needs to align with what you want to study, because your job will be dependent on that. And at the end, the main motive is to be good professionally, right? Of course, education is one part, but the entire end goal is to make sure that you do well in your job, business, anything after your education. So if you are not happy with whatever you are pursuing professionally, what's the point of education? So it's a very important thing that curriculum needs to be aligning to your interest. Second is the overall ranking reputation in that particular country. You can see there are many ranking related websites. There is QS ranking, there is THE ranking, then in US there is US News. So you can actually see those rankings, and accordingly you can decide. Talking to alumni also helps. When you are speaking to the alumni of that particular university or course, that also helps you decide better. So these are the factors which are required to be considered. But to answer your question, curriculum should be the first thing, and then comes the reputation and ranking of the university.
Of course, these answers proves your genuine kind of thinking, because you can simply tell that, okay, you can visit us and you can just know about the details, but you're telling a very genuine thing that, okay, whenever you're going to land in a job, you should be always be prepared for it. For that, you should make sure that your basement is strong. Yeah. So that's why your curriculum, whatever you're going to study, you have to make sure that it suits and it matches with your profession. Also at the same time, you have mentioned that you can also get guidance from your alumni. That's a wonderful thing, because we speak as an education consultant, we can go through our business, and according to our professional ethics, we can just go in that way. But you have been in a very human mode, and you also advise students to have a kind of good communication with the alumni of the universities, top universities, so that they will be able to have a broader vision in what kind of course they are dealing with, and they'll be having a very brighter future. That's a great answer from you, ma'am. So also tell us, ma'am, in today's world, everything will work according to the trend. So trend exists in different industries. consider a cinema. They'll be taking for each and every decade, like for each and every 10 years, they'll be going in a trend. Okay, if this suits, then the audience will match it. And consider for clothing, this is the trend. And right now, when we are speaking about education, consultancy, kind of going abroad and kind of having a great future for ourselves by choosing the correct course. So tell us, ma'am, what is the trend going on right now? So what students are looking for? Maybe it may be like people can be going to abroad to, as you said, they'll be going for different courses, but there must be one common thing. As you said, students may not be even knowing fully about the kind of things, but they'll be aspiring to have an education since, because of a very simple thing, it's a trend. So tell us, ma'am, what is the trend going on, ma'am?
The trend is definitely one buzzword which you would have also be hearing, that is artificial intelligence, AI. Very buzzing word, very trendy word. Each and every parent coming to me, student coming to me are just wanting to get into AI somehow. They are also valid their way, but then I believe that they need to take a conscious decision about whether the student is interested in AI or not. So that is something which is not seen by many students and parents. So then we make them understand, and eventually, decisions are changed or decisions are modified a little. For example, one of my student who came with a computer science background without having any sort of AI experience, he wanted to go for masters in artificial intelligence in Germany. So then I asked that what is the reason? Just because there are many jobs in Germany for AI, that's the reason I'm choosing AI. That's not the answer what I expect. You should be interested. You should have done some kind of internship, some kind of job in that particular domain which made you interested, and hence you are going in masters in AI. That was not the case in whatever he was suggesting. That was not the case at all. So hence I recommended to go for holistic masters in computer science, where AI forms the part of that program. Rather than going only for masters in AI, I asked him to go for holistic masters in CS, and actually he shifted to data science then. While he was studying CS, he got his love for data science more than AI, and currently he's a data scientist. So that's why it's very important to have your options open, understand where you are good at, and then pursue a particular master's, bachelor's, whatever major. So current buzzword, current trend is definitely AI. Everyone is rushing behind AI because it's the trend, it's hot, it's demanded, whatever you say. But I'm agreeing also, there is value, there is demand. But at the same point of time, I feel students and parents need to be aware and be realistic to themselves that whether they are actually fit for it or not. So yes.
That's a wonderful kind of answer. Of course, many people like this, they just go on to it. They just tell that, okay, I'm just going to be an automobile engineering because, I just going to become an automobile engineer because Germany is very well known for cars. So that's why they just choose that one. And on the other hand, as you told right now, students must have a broader vision of what they're going to study. So tell us, ma'am, what advice would you tell to students who actually are in a total dilemma? So they'll be like totally confused. They'll be like in a cat on the wall. They'll be not knowing whether to listen to our passion, what our soul is telling, or whether to listen to our parents. So at that point of time, they'll be in a totally dilemma and they'll be left in the sea. So at that point of time, what advice would you tell to students so that they can identify which course suits them the best, ma'am?
This is a very good question. I would definitely advise them to work, to do internships, to do courses, to gain a full-time work experience, understand their interest, and then pursue a particular major accordingly. Till the time you don't work, you will not understand whether you are actually good at what you are doing or not. Sometimes you like things theoretically, but when you are actually doing it, you are not that good at it. That's a very common thing which I see among students. So that's why please make sure that right from your first year or second year of your bachelor's, start working. That's something which will definitely create a lot of difference, and accordingly that will help them select the major in a very sane way rather than just going ahead with what parents are saying or what the newspaper is saying or what the trend is saying. You will be hearing your heart, you will be hearing yourself, and then accordingly making the decision.
Yeah, always listen to your heart, because your heart only will tell what's there existing for you in this life. That's a very great question. That's a very great answer from you, ma'am. So tell us, ma'am, how do you actually help students prepare for standardized tests like IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT? There is a lot of kind of technical things happening over here. So tell us, how do you actually help people like students to get into these kind of standardized test procedures which many countries require them to enter into their own country and have a education for the abroad, things like MS or anything such like that?
Yes, so when it comes to standardized testing, it's not the country which requires, it's the university which requires. So every university has their own requirement, and based on that, we suggest to give standardized testing. There is GRE, there is GMAT, there is IELTS, TOEFL, there is SAT, ACT, LNAT, LSAT, UCAT, BMAT. There are multiple tests. Okay, but I'll just quickly give you the difference so that everyone understand. When it comes to GRE, it is specifically required in the US. Primarily, it's a US universities requirement, that is GRE. Usually required for the masters. When it comes to GMAT, it is usually required for MBA. GMAT is very much required for MBA all across the world, all the good universities across the world. If you want to pursue your MBA, you require a GMAT. So it's a very important testing for GMAT. GMAT is also accepted for masters in, management related areas, such as marketing, finance, masters in management. So you can give GMAT there as well. Then there is SAT exam, which is for undergrad students, but only if they wish to go for US universities. SAT is something which is like a test which can help universities determine the logical capability of the student. Then there is ACT, which is very similar to SAT. It's also again accepted in undergrad US, but it just has a little different approach than SAT, but SAT is more popular definitely. SAT is out of 1600 versus SAT is out of 36. So when it comes to LSAT, LNAT, these are law-based entrance test. Okay, so LSAT is required in the US, LNAT is required in the UK. If you want to pursue LLB in the UK, there is LNAT. Then there is UCAT, BMAT, which are medical-related tests for UK. If you want to pursue your MBBS in the UK, you have to give UCAT or BMAT. So there are many tests. Now, totally depends on which country you are aiming for. There is a common test of IELTS or TOEFL which is required in all the countries, any program. Usually that is, I would say 95% that is a requirement, because your native language, especially when we are in India, is not English. There is a mother tongue, right? And English is something which obviously you speak, you study in English, but it is not your native language, English. So that's why to test whether you will be able to cope up with the course or not, there is IELTS or TOEFL, which sort of tests your English understanding abilities. So IELTS or TOEFL both test the same thing, and you have to give the exam. So it's like GRE plus IELTS TOEFL, GMAT plus IELTS or TOEFL. There are few universities in few countries where IELTS TOEFL is not required. So instead of that, they accept MOI letter, that is medium of instruction letter. So if your entire education has happened in English, you can take a letter from the university stating the medium of instruction, and the IELTS TOEFL will be waived off. But still, I always recommend to give IELTS TOEFL, because some universities do not accept, many I would say, do not accept the MOI letter. I would say specifically French universities accept MOI, rest most of the countries will require IELTS or TOEFL. So give that exam. That is something which I'll suggest. With regards to other standardized testing, that is GRE, GMAT, SAT, it is optional in many of the countries, many of the universities. So we will have to figure out which country you're looking at, which universities you're aiming. Based on that, we will be giving the suggestion whether to give the exam or not. Okay, so this is how the entire testing thing works.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great thing, ma'am. So along with that, universities also expect a student to have another kind of set of criteria to fulfill. The very first thing is SOP, statement of purpose for the abroad studies, and the second thing is letter of recommendations. That is very strong letter of recommendations, that's called as LORs. So tell us, ma'am, how do you help a student in crafting this SOP and LOS so that they can very well get into the universities what they dream for, ma'am?
So when it comes to statement of purpose, letters of recommendation, they are very important components for applying to universities abroad, because when it comes to SOP, it's like a essay that why you want to do something, what you are like whatever you are aiming to do, why you want to do that. So whatever you have done in your past, what have led you to pursue this. So purpose, your statement of purpose, why and what you are wanting to do, give us the reasoning. So it needs to be a very strong reason, right? So that's why it needs to be crafted in a very great way, and we help in that. Okay, we help you in SOP creation, in letters of recommendation, we help you in the editing part entirely. There are essays also which are required to be written, especially when it comes to undergrad abroad, or when it comes to masters in masters also. In many a times you require to write essays apart from SOP. So we help in the ideation and editing of the essays also. So content, I would say, it's a very big forte of Aara Consultancy, and we make sure that's how we make the application strong enough that good universities accept you. So for that we have a lot of ideation and editing going to a great extent to make sure it is impactful enough for the admission committee to accept the student's application. So we do help in the crafting of these, and it is something which I would consider as our forte.
Yeah, that's a great technical thing which is explained in a very simple manner. So also tell us, ma'am, what is the most common mistakes that students do when they're doing their applications? Because there must be this thing which you usually find with many students. They're making these common mistakes when they're applying for applications for studies in different foreign universities. And also tell us a very simple way, ma'am, how can they avoid them?
So yes, when it comes to the common mistakes, first of all, when it comes to students, they ask many people about what should they be doing, which country they should be going to. So all the more, every person has their own opinion, which will cause lot of confusion in students' mind. So an expert's help is required. So consult a consultant who are actually experts in these areas, who can guide you well. Do not look at saving money at the consultant's end, at least, because you are as it is spending or 25-30 lakhs minimum. So why not spend extra 30,000 or 40,000 to make sure that you are being given the right guidance, rather than asking 20 other people who are your friends who have gone to different countries. Ask a consultant. So that is something which I will highly recommend. Of course, connecting with alumni helps. We do help students to connect with alumni base. That is one of our service what we provide based on the university they are going to, based on the course they are opting for. We actually help students connect because we have a strong alumni network. So that helps. But then at least initially, because there is so much information available everywhere, be it ChatGPT, Google, or your alumni, students get confused because each and everyone will have their own opinion. So do not research too much. Rather than that, ask an expert. So that is one thing. Second is, when it comes to the common mistake, students start late. It's very important to start 1 year before the intake. For example, you are aiming for September 2026 intake. You need to come to us at least by July, August 2025. That is 1 year before, because earlier you apply, better are the chances for scholarship, better are the chances to get an admit. So make sure that you apply early. That is something which is important. Third, expectation what students usually have is, there are students who have a 6-pointer or 7-pointer GPA and they expect to get into Ivy Leagues. Be very realistic and true to yourself. You need not have unrealistic expectations that I will get into how. Yes, we can try, but be very open to the idea also that even if you get in the top 20, top 30, top 40, it's good. It's not, when it comes to Indian thing, it's very important to get into a good college. When it comes to abroad, more than the college, I would say it's the student's profile, students likeliness to network or crack an interview that will help them land a better job rather than just the university name. So that's why just be very open to the fact that even if I get a university which is a little okay, but it is good overall, because we don't have to go with a university which doesn't have reputation, doesn't make sense only, but a good college is also something which is sufficient enough for you to land a good job. So that realistic approach needs to be inculcated in students for applying abroad. So these are overall mistakes and advices what students do while applying. Apart from that, there are many application related errors what students do, but that is something which is very technical, and it will be better if once student starts the process we guide them. But majorly applying early is something which is important. Second, being true to yourself, being realistic to yourself, that is important. And third, consult the consultant, consult the expert. So do not just randomly ask people. Everyone will have their own opinion, and at the end you will only be the one who will be at loss and confused. So this is it.
That's what we actually are actually educated right from the beginnings. Make hay while the sun shines. Yeah, that's the great thing, because whenever you're going to do any work, make sure that you approach at the right time. You always make sure that you're prepared for it. This is life. You do not know what's going to happen anytime. So be sure that you are prepared for it. So that's what our ma'am is telling at the very first thing. And the very last thing is very simple. Approach a consultant. Of course, we should approach a consultant. It's very simple, ma'am. People nowadays, when they're having any kind of illness in their body, they're just Googling it and they're just seeing it. So that Google will be recommending a lot of things and you'll be getting frightened seeing it. It's very simple. Go and consult a doctor who's a professional. In the same way, when you are going to pursue a education in abroad, make sure you approach a proper professional consultant. That's why our Vinni Shah Modani ma'am is here over here. Now we are moving on to loan and visa support. So tell us, ma'am, how do you actually help students to achieve the education loan? Because that's a very frightened thing which appears in front of students when they want to pursue the education in as a thing in abroad. The thing is that how do you actually help them in guiding their financial aids? So tell us all about the loan process, ma'am.
I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, so I did not mention earlier. I'm a CA. Arpan, who is the partner, and my husband, he's also a CA plus CFA. So we are from finance background, and we are leveraging that knowledge to make sure that we actually help students in terms of the financial documentation in order to get loans. For loans also, we have tie-ups with more than 20 banks, NBFCs. We try our level best that based on the documentation, students are able to get a secured or unsecured loan. Secured loan is where you have to mortgage something for obtaining the loan. Unsecured is based on the income tax papers, financial documents, you get the loan. These days to get student loan is not that difficult, to be very frank, and hence you can see so many students from India all around the world are traveling abroad studying, because the education loan facility has become very flexible. So definitely we assist. We have a team entirely who are basically finance professionals, including us, who overlook the entire thing to make sure students are getting the financial help whatever they need. So we help very much end to end, be it the SOP LORs or education loans, accommodation, and also the test preparation. We have really good teachers for test preparation who helps you in the coaching for all the abroad as well as Indian entrance test. So we are like a end to end solution, one stop solution to make sure that we cater to students all requirements related to education, and that too in a way which is totally unbiased and it is for the students' interest.
That's a great thing, ma'am. So also tell us, ma'am, what are the insights we can get when a student is applying for the visa? Can you please elaborately explain the visa application process? And also there is a lot of pitfalls which we should make sure that we should not fall inside it. So tell us about in a very simplified manner.
When it comes to visa, I always recommend students to first of all start early. Do not just take 15 days or 1 month when the visa application is about to begin. Give 2 months, and for that you have to start your application process also early. Do not do these work in a very rushed way. be very patient in terms of visa application. We help you in filing of the complete visa. We fill the form for the student. We check all the financial documents, everything. When it comes to visa process, usually all countries have a very similar process, that is wherein you have to show your 1 year tuition fee plus living expenses in your account or basically your sponsor's account. Sponsor can be any of your blood relative. Some countries like UK will want only your mother, father, or yourself. The account, the money needs to be in your account or your mother, father's account. So every country has their own rules, but this is primarily the thing what they require. 1 year tuition fee plus living expenses need to be shown in the sponsor's account. IT returns are required to be shown, and all your educational documents are required to be shown correctly. There is a cover letter, there is a visa SOP which is separately required, that why you want to go to a particular country. For example, New Zealand requires it, France requires a visa SOP. So why New Zealand, why that particular university? So all the explanation needs to be very properly done. So you need to go to a visa consultant who's very thorough with it. That we are actually those people, because as I told you, we are chartered accountants. We have trained our team members in such a way that they are very immaculate in the documentation, because it's visa, once rejected it becomes very difficult to sort of get again. So that's why first time itself you need to be very cautious about visa filing. And I'm very proud to say that we almost have 100% acceptance, because our students go to good universities, right? And we make sure that students go to good ones, because the visa is also sort of jeopardized if you are going to a university which does not hold that reputation. Yes, absolutely, because they know that you don't have that enough money, or you do not have that kind of profile. That's why you're going to a university which does not hold that reputation. So the visa rejection chances also increase if you go to not so good university. So going to a good university is also important. When I say good, it doesn't mean top only. Not everyone has that profile. Not everyone is willing to go to a top university. They have their own set of expectations. So go to a good reputed university. It can be top 30, top 40, top 50. It's absolutely fine, but not the very lower ranked university. So this is what it is. The documentation needs to be immaculate. You need to have proper IT returns, proper money in the account of the sponsor, and also go for a consultant who is good enough for these things, because it's very sensitive, the visa filing and everything. Just to save 2,000-3,000 rupees, don't go for a consultant who's cheaper. I think entire process of education, visa, go for good consultants. Don't go for agents particularly who just do it for free and they get the commissions from the universities. Don't fall into that pitfall which you actually rightly mentioned, that don't fall into that. Go for good reputed consultants. Do spend a little extra, but that will actually resolve your long-term purpose, because as it is, you are spending quite a lot. Even if you are looking at very cheap countries like Germany, Austria, it's cheap. You end up spending 2-3 lakhs only, but the process is sort of complicated. So for that, you need to go through a expert who is well versed, who is aware, rather than just saving money and just going for a free counselor who will not be able to help you. In fact, your time will be wasted. So in this thing, you should not be a miser. Just spend a little extra to make sure that your work is done well, because visa application, all these things are one time thing, and it's a matter of your career. So these are some of the highlights which I can give for the visa process.
That's actually a very elaborate kind of answer which I expected from you. In fact, the very next question I was going to ask you about documentation preparation of getting a very successful visa applications for studies. Of course, your answer itself proved that, of course, you're a great professional in your job. That's why you're able to make sure that each and every student who comes to you, they have 100% successful visa application rate. And also at the same time, you just tell people that, okay, these are the rates which is expected to study and abroad. Consider we have to spend very few lakhs to study in Germany. And hope if I be lucky, if I would approach a person like you, like before, after I finish my engineering, it would be very helpful for me, because now I am just looking for someone that, okay, why you didn't tell me before itself, because I could have approached Germany, because it was very few lakhs. And also at the same time, I also wanted to ask that, ma'am, so we were speaking about getting into a reputed university abroad, so you also help students to get into Indian admissions, so tell us about it, ma'am.
Absolutely, we do help. When it comes to Indian universities, it is very much specific to entrance exams. So we help you in the preparation of entrance exams. There are few private universities these days like Ashoka University, Kriya, Flame, Symbiosis, NMIMS. They do have an application like abroad. There is SOP required. There is letter of recommendation which is required. So we help in the application process. Rest, when it comes to other Indian universities like IIT or IIMs or those colleges, it's very entrance exam oriented. JEE or CAT, you have to give those entrance exam. But wherever application is involved, wherever you need help in terms of shortlisting, wherever you need help in terms of the entire Indian university entrance exam prep, except JEE NEET, of course, because that requires a next level of preparation. But apart from that, there are many aptitude tests which are required to be given. Aptitude sort of test, there is NMIMS for NMIMS universities, there is NPAT for Delhi University, DU, there is CUET, there is everywhere there are entrance exams which are required. All private university has their own entrance exams, so we help you in that. We also help you with CLAT preparation. If you want to target NLUs, National Law Universities in India, which are the top law institute in India. If you want to target that, there is a CLAT exam which is required to be given. So we assist you in that preparation also. So basically, Indian university applications is extremely entrance exam oriented. So we help you with that preparation. Along with that, we also have a college selection session. So in case student is sure about the major what they are wanting to get into and they just want to understand which colleges in India we should target, we have a session for that also. So everywhere, as I told you, any college, any country, any course, we help you. It can be as random country as Denmark, Finland, Norway. We have sent students there as well. So India, of course, we help. But apart from that, anywhere in the world, we actually have sent students and we will be sending students. Currently, we have students who are planning to go for South Korea and Japan as well. Yeah, absolutely. That's also something which is very upcoming. Today, in fact, morning we got offer letter, like our student got an offer letter from an Austrian public university. Austria, not Australia, Austria. So and it's very same like Germany. It's the public universities do not charge anything. So when it comes to our education counseling, it's very end to end and we cover everything whatever is possible.
It's great to know that you are spreading wings across different countries, which is not most familiar to many persons. Of course, your recent things from South Korean, Austrian, is something like which is totally like standing alone. That's a great thing, ma'am. So also you have in between you have told me that okay, agents actually they require they charge for a few thousand rupees and they just do the same work, but there should be a great difference between an agent and an educational counselor. So tell us, what is the professional educational counselor actually, how they are distinguished from other agents, ma'am? So tell us about it, ma'am.
So agents do not even charge few thousands rupees. They do it for free. Yeah, so agents, I mean, there are many agents which are available who basically do not charge a single penny. They will be basically helping you with the complete process, how they are tied up with the universities, few of the universities abroad. So they will be pushing the students to those universities only where they are tied up, because of course they also want to earn money, right? Yeah. Versus when it comes to education counselors like us, we do not have any direct association with any universities. We make sure students get into the best possible university based on their profile and preference. So we do not have any targets to make. Usually the universities give targets to agents that you have to give us 20 odd students in a year, 30 odd students in the year. So agents will make sure that the student will be pushed to that university without considering the fact whether that university is a good fit for the student or not, course is a good fit for the student or not. We are not like that. We have sent students to Ivy Leagues in the US as well. Yeah, and also all the top universities we have aimed for: Canada, University of Toronto, UBC; Australia, Melbourne, Sydney; New Zealand, Auckland, University of Auckland. Then UK, our students have got to LSC, Oxford, then Imperial College London, UCL, and also for Germany, our students have got into TU Munich, TU Berlin. Then there is Stuttgart University, Hamburg University. So our students have got into top university across. So that's why we proudly say that we are not agents, we are counselors, wherein we guide the students in the best way possible and make sure they land into a good place. So that's why we charge from the students. We do not do it for free, because of course there are so many resources which are involved, but whatever we charge, that is also very reasonable. It just commensurates to the efforts what we put in, right? So that's the difference between agent and counselor. And also the fact that students come to us right from 8th grade. We do Indian applications also, we are not just abroad counselors. And from 8th grade, students come to us for subject selection, college selection, career counseling session, career simulation, test preparation. So and even we offer skill development courses for AI, for digital marketing, for financial literacy, these short skill development courses for students who are high schoolers or in their school. They can pursue this to develop skills. So it's very, very holistic what we offer.
So in a simple manner, we can just frame it in such a way that you help students to achieve what they dream of. It's very simple. So that's why you're totally distinguished from other persons who was doing the similar jobs, but you're totally doing it in a very professional and in a very, in a very simple word, that you are doing it wholeheartedly. So you're making sure that, okay, we are just making sure that, okay, we are just getting revenue from it, but we are just doing it in such a way that we are just doing wholeheartedly, so that your student who approaches you, they after 20 years they still remember Aara Consultancy in Mumbai. So that's how you are making sure that each and every student across the world, it's not from single particular country, it's from across the different countries. That's a great inspiration, ma'am. And also I wanted to ask you in the very beginning that, okay, what actually made you choose this abroad education consultancy job, since you're a chartered accountant? So tell us, what is the transition which made you go from being a chartered accountant into a totally different educational consultant, ma'am?
That's the question what I answer almost every single day. Whatever parents and students, they come to meet me if I have an online session, so they see that I am a chartered accountant, and that's the first question what they ask, that ma'am, how come you from being a CA you moved to education counseling? So I was working in a very top firm after completing my CA, and when I started working for that top firm, I understood that finance is something which I'm not interested in. So as I mentioned earlier too, till the time you don't start working, you don't understand what is your calling. So I understood that finance is not my calling, and just like me, there were many others also who were stuck in that loop. They just went ahead with chartered accountancy course because it was valued, it was hot, it was demanded. That's the reason they went ahead with CA. They actually never researched what CA is, whether they will be a fit for chartered accountancy course. And similarly, I also made that mistake, and hence I thought that this is a actual problem which I need to solve. I need to be a good career counselor. So my whole thing started with career counseling. Abroad came later, because I thought that in order to be a good career counselor, I need to have good knowledge of abroad counseling also. Then only I'll be able to give good holistic guidance to the students. So then the abroad thing came into picture, and I actually took experience in another abroad education counseling company. I researched thoroughly on how I can become a good career counselor, and then Aara started one day. It is because of the realization that there are dearth of good counselors who actually guide the student in the most unbiased way. It happened with me, hence I wanted that many students should not be facing the similar trouble, because in India particularly, we are just restricted to 3 courses: CA, doctor, engineer. There are many other courses, many different courses. Students should be opting for it, because many a times I've seen parents saying that if you're not doing these 3 courses, you are dumb. It's not the case. That's not the case at all. There are many creative people. There are people who want to do something different. They have their own strength, own weakness, and based on that, you have to choose a particular career. So I got into this field based on my personal experience, and that's how Aara started, and it's been a story till now, I would say.
So, you know what, ma'am? So, you have actually started your career from where you have actually made sure that other students should not go and make in a may I mean be in a situation where I was suffering. You made sure that okay, other students should learn from my sufferings and they should totally convert it into their success. That's a great initiation, ma'am. And also being born in a typical Indian family, they want their kid to be a doctor or an engineer. So likewise, I am an engineering guy, and likewise you said that I also had this kind of dream. That's why I think the universe made us sit together, have a conversation. I was also thinking like, okay, I should make one day that there is not only single department which we can earn, which we can make a livelihood, which we can actually choose as our passion, which we can actually enjoy in our life. There are different streams. So that's why I have interviewed more than 100 people, and there are different departments. So that's what I would like to say to many students. There are a lot of studies which you can pursue. Only thing is you should select which is suitable for you, which suits you wholeheartedly. That's a great thing, ma'am. So tell us about the founder and CEO of Aara Educational Consultancy, Mr. Arpan Modani, sir. So tell us, he is basically your husband, and you have been collaborating and you have been successfully running this department right now. So tell us, ma'am, there is a very simple question: how being an husband and wife, you are collaborating and making sure that there is no any kind of flaws and there is no any kind of rough and tough fights. So it's a great thing to have a good collaboration with your partner. So tell us about your partnership life and your professional life, ma'am.
So yes, Arpan is the founder and CEO. So we started this company together. So basically, his strengths are my weakness, my strength are his weakness. So we sort of complete each other in a very beautiful way, and hence the collaboration in terms of business has worked for so long. So he handles the complete operations. He's the backbone entirely of the company, versus I am more of the front face, wherein I take counselings and I make sure that I give the guidance. He also takes counselings. He also is eventually he got into counseling and he's doing a great job in that as well. But the operation part is something which is untouched by anyone but him, and so he's the backbone, I'm more of a front face, and that's how the collaboration has worked, because what he does I don't do, what I do he doesn't do. So that's why it works well. And overall we both are from the same educational background as well. He's a chartered accountant also. He's a chartered financial analyst, CFA as well. So we sort of, and we have been together past many years. So that's why that kind of understanding has developed eventually over the period, and we have understood that what are his strengths, we need to capitalize on that, and what are my strengths, I need to capitalize on that, and we have to make sure that we think about one thing, that is student. So that is the entire focus, the student driven business entirely, and we make sure that students interest is everything above any of our interest, any of the team member or my or Arpan's interest. So students interest is above that. We work for it. Since we have a common goal, common aim, common mission, things have been working really well for us.
That's a wonderful collaboration which you will have for the entire life, ma'am. That's a great thing, because having your partner as your business partner is something like which is totally unique. That's a great thing, ma'am. So one very last question for this interview is very simple. I just ask this to each and every women entrepreneurs I'm interviewing. So via this interview, if you want to convey any kind of message to the people who are watching this interview right now, it may be to the kids, middle-aged person or old-aged person, or it may be any business professionals or any working women or any person. What kind of particular message would you like to convey to the people who are watching this interview right now, ma'am?
I just want to say one thing: do a job that you love and you will never work in your life. Love what you do, automatically life will be very beautiful. So your day should go like this, because you should be doing the work what you are really passionate about. I can see your thing also, that you are so passionate about your work, hence you are enjoying. You don't feel that boredom. So hence I always tell, do the job that you love and you never have to work in your life. So I would like to tell everyone the same thing, be it the middle-aged man or a working woman or a homemaker, anyone. Whatever you are doing, you should be loving it.
That's a great message, ma'am. Of course, when we love your job, then you will not be feel like you are just working. Of course, even if there may be many kind of failures, there may be many kind of problems, struggles, but at the ultimate, you are going to do a job which you actually love. That's a great message, ma'am. So people who are watching this interview right now, please do subscribe to Women Today YouTube channel, and students who are aspiring to have a career in abroad. So who are mainly in Mumbai, our Vinni Shah Modani ma'am is here in Aara Education Consultancy in Mumbai. So please come and have a kind of session with us so that you can have a broader vision about your abroad studies. So thank you once again, Vinni Shah ma'am.
One second, you have to save this again because one last question is pending.
Yeah.
If I am from Chennai, if I want to recommend any of your friends, would you be able to do it online?
Yeah, fine.
So just take that and then you conclude it accordingly. Just one last question.
Yeah, okay. So I have already spoken.
And you take the video for that. I will speak about Nigeria and everything. So do take this video.
Okay, fine, ma'am. So I have already spoken. I'll just include this.
Yeah,
One.
works, no problem.
So okay, sir. Yeah, and one last question, ma'am. So also tell us, ma'am. So I have just asked students who are in Mumbai to have a consultation with you here in your office in Mumbai. But what about other students? Like we are from Chennai, there will be students from abroad, like in Delhi, and also from other countries. So you're also providing sessions via online. Students do not want to come and have a session only in offline. Most of the students are having online sessions. So tell us about your online sessions, ma'am.
You can ask it as like don't reveal the online, but you can say.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, okay, sir. Yeah, also one last question, ma'am. So I was just telling that students who are from Mumbai, they can have a kind of offline session with her. They can come to our office and have a kind of counseling session about abroad studies. But what about other students? Like I'm from Chennai, so there must be different students from different cities in India and also from different countries. Is there any way that they can approach you, or they should come only to your office and have a session? So tell us about it, ma'am.
To be very frank, the students who are in Mumbai itself never ends up coming to our office because our complete process is defined online. We have CRM systems in place. We have actually developed the process in such a way that students who stay near to our office also never ends up coming to our office. So that's why we have students all over the world, not just limited to Mumbai or India. We have students from Africa, US, Canada, everywhere. Currently I've been dealing with a Nigerian, with a Vietnamese and a South African. So we have proper students from different nationalities also, not just students who are NRIs and who are living in other countries. Different nationality students are also something which we handle and we are very well versed with. So Chennai student, definitely. We currently have many students from Chennai, Hyderabad, Kerala. So from South, already we have students. What happens is one student come to us and they like the service, they get into good college, and then the word of mouth spreads, right? And entirely the process is online. And we have developed an in-house CRM portal for the convenience of the student. That entire messaging documentation has to be uploaded on that portal itself. So it is very comfortable, and especially for undergrad students, MBA students, we create WhatsApp groups also where parents are also are a part of that group. So whatever we are doing, they are also in the loop. So students never end up coming. I understand from Bombay there are people who just come once just to meet that, just to have that sort of satisfaction, but that is just for their personal satisfaction. Otherwise till the visa they never come. Yes, absolutely. It's entirely online, and you can definitely recommend your friends, your relatives, and I'm pretty sure that we will be able to guide them well. I do have that confidence after years of guiding students that me and my team are extremely competent enough to guide students at any level.
That's really very mind-blowing kind of message. I should have asked this question for the very first thing, because students, they actually they don't come and visit. Instead, they choose online, which is totally like in a very structured manner. That's what we are just trying to tell via this interview. So that's a great thing, ma'am. People all across the cities, they are coming to you.
Yeah. Also the fact that we do career counseling, abroad counseling whenever we do it online. For example, the abroad counseling session, the first session is free. We write everything down, we share the word doc and we write everything down, we send a proper mail for the reference, we ask them if they have any questions. So it's entirely a process which is defined by us. Over the years we have made sure that it is as per the convenience of the student. Even the test prep, whatever test prep we are doing, that is GRE, GMAT, so many entrance exam, Indian, abroad, it's all online. Students never end up coming to our office. So there are students who are taking offline batches also, but there is no requirement because we have made our system in such a way, that process is defined in such a way.
That's a great thing, ma'am. That's what I'm again and again I'm telling. So Aara Education Consultancy is not only for offline but also mainly online. So people who wish to have abroad studies, they have a very wonderful opportunity that they can connect via online and they can have a career counseling sessions with our Vinni, Shah, Modani ma'am over here in Aara Education Consultancy in Mumbai. So thank you once again Vinni, Shah, Modani ma'am for allowing me to host this wonderful interview. So that was a great interview with you, ma'am. So good evening, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much for, coming all the way. I am totally, honored that you came. You took the interview. I am very glad. But any sort of, you need any sort of other interview or any other help for any other student you feel like, I would be more than happy to help anyone. Thank you so much. Keep doing the good work and, let's be in touch. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Students will be flocking Aara Consultancy via online. That's a great thing, ma'am. So hope everything goes good and all the best for your future ventures, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Krishna. Thanks a lot. It was absolute delight to speak to you and give interview to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you once again. That's a wrap.